This video covers basic distribution methods and user engagement funnels for all Connect-powered apps. There are several ways to distribute the app, and the most accepted for the mobile apps is obviously the Google Play Market and the Apple App Store. And for a web app, a web URL is obviously the most convenient way. Now, to advertise this in one link, there's something what's called a router link. This link is embedded in the ad, and there's a router that detects if a user is using a mobile device or a desktop device, their desktop browser, and it will route the user depending on that to the proper location. So let's say it's a mobile device, and so now the user is transferred to the mobile app store, and there's a way for the user to install an app and to start an app. Now, if the user is in the desktop browser, then we will check if it's a new or existing user by checking a cookie or a session. So if it's an existing user, we will send the user to the app. And if it's a new user, we go through a registration process, then we select segment, then we check if there's initiation messages for this segment that are programmed. And so your company has some messages that the user should find relevant. Because all businesses operate within the same methods of repeating protocols. These protocols could be initiated by proactively contacting the users. And so these initiation messages is exactly what it is. So when the user selects his category, and let's say this category matches some interest that we know that the user will respond if we proactively approach the user with a message, then we contact the user with this message. If it matches the segment, if there are messages programmed, then we will start these initiation chats. And if they are relevant to user will either chat back or call and convert. There's also a way to open a user board and to show objects from that user board. So let's say you have properties to showcase or cars to sell or any products in the market. These the modules that will contain all of the objects, and regardless what kind of wrapping we put the object into, it could be a map or it could be a market or it could be a showcase. It's just still like a bunch of objects that we show in a very descriptive manner. So the user is likely to start a chat or anyhow engage when the objects seem relevant. And so that is how users convert usually, and that is how we distribute the app. Usage of the app itself looks like this. So this is internet, and these are cities, these are data centers, these are your users, and some of them are connected through tablets, some of them are using phones. Phones are using GSM networks. Tablets are usually using Wi-Fi networks that are connected to some house or office routers. Some other users use laptops that are connected to these routers. They also use phones, GSM. Now, all of these transport points take user to the server, and that is where your personal server is located, your app server backend. Now, this server orchestrates all of these connections and arranges all of the communications between devices. And now, if there are users on the other side of the planet that will do the same thing through the internet, just through connecting to all of these different hubs, they will reach their server and they will establish the shortest possible link. The Connect technology uses what's called a direct peering network, where we allow this user to communicate with this user, and by that we mean these devices, right? To communicate through this tower without reaching the server, only to notify the server that these devices communicate, but all of the data is actually sent directly. And that ensures fastest possible speed on direct connections. And for group video conferencing, our servers are actually a pretty good fit as well, because we put them in the city where the most of physical devices are located, and that ensures the fastest possible speeds. So this is how the app is laid out, and normally your app will operate the same manner. So this picture is showing basic distribution of users who are going to use the app first. And so we're looking at existing buyers who are going to notify, and some of them will download and install the app. We're looking at technology fans who are going to be happy that there's an app of this particular niche in the sector, and they found out and they download. Actually, this is a much larger group, but I made it really humble and see how it goes. Now, these are mobile users in general because mobile users greatly benefit from all of the mobile features that we offer, so they're going to be very happy. Now, agents, owners, and staff are the people who are most interested in using the app every day. So they're really your core audience. And so they formulate most of the app users actually in terms of engagement. If you look at random audience, there's going to be a lot of people who are just going to be randomly downloading the app and uninstalling it. They're going to be causing your uninstall rate. That's no big deal. So here's the video screencast for the app launch that explains basic user engagement into the app, and it looks like this. So we'll first launch the app, and when it's the first registration, user enters his number, is waiting for a text message to have a verification code. Now user enters this code, and then when it's a new account, they will be offered to create an account and add a photo. So this is the registration phase right here. We started the app, we checked if it's a new user, then we create an account. So when the user is first selecting his segment, he's being sent automatically chats that relate to his segment. Each of these chats is sent from a bot, and it contains a message that is supposed to be relevant to the user segment group. This is just a demonstration of some of the messages, and that's too many. There should be about 3 or 4. So there are several ways to interact with the app, and one is the dialogue method, is to engage in a chat and to participate in a conversation with an operator or bot. And a second method is to browse through products. And if the bot supports the view mode, it will by default open the page, and you can switch it to the text mode and back. So in the text mode, you can communicate with the bot through commands, and in the view mode, you can see the products.